We say what they can't radio.
What's up? Hey. It's your favorite group chat.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode. Introducing ourselves again. My name is Milagros, aka Mills.
I'm Key.
And I'm Whitney.
And I'm Mia.
And we are your favorite group chat.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And if we haven't become your favorite group chat yet,
We will.
We will.
Very soon.
We're going to make our way into your hearts.
Yep.
So, today's topic. Hoe versus sexually liberated.
Dun, dun, dun.
What's the difference?
Tell us.
So what do you think a hoe is versus someone who's sexually liberated? Y'all want me to start? Go first? Or?
You can go first.
I
Cause I got lots of ideas about what a hoe is and what sexually liberated is, but y'all can
I feel like,
Okay.
all right, I feel like a hoe has absolutely no standards
and boundaries.
and boundaries, like at all. Will sleep with any and everybody. Like, they don't need a reason. It don't have to be for money. It don't have to be because they cute. It don't have to be for clout. They just out here like just giving it up. Like, and this when we're talking about is men and women.
Yeah, not
Let's
just
be
women.
real, men and women. We're not just
'Cause
talking
guys
about
are
ladies.
But there's definitely a double standard,
It is.
right?
Absolutely.
So a woman can do exactly what a man does,
But she's gonna be deemed
she's the hoe.
and he's gonna be deemed the man.
No, you still a hoe because you're dirty and you nasty and you out here running these streets, stinking your wanker where it don't
You're a
belong.
wanker.
Oh, it's
Oh
so
my
early in the podcast.
Damn.
She feels
This
very...
is not safe for kids or my mom. Or my mom. But what about my mom?
Oh, well, I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You's married, she know what goes down.
I'm kidding.
But I'm not the hoe.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all talking about me.
And then I feel like sexually liberated is a person who does sleep with people and tries things, but it's not with any and everybody.
So
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like a
because sexually
promiscuous-
liberated could be just mean like you're free with your sexuality, meaning like there's probably nothing that's taboo for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you do that with everybody.
Right.
Like you can be a sexually liberated hoe, and you can be
Wait, what?
just sexually liberated.
What?
Meaning
I'm
you
trying
can
not to
literally.
Millie's like,
Yes, you can. You can absolutely be a sexually liberated hoe. Meaning, you gonna do the upside down swinging shit with the nigga who about to walk down the street, and you do any and everything with any and everybody.
Right.
But you can be sexually liberated, and then you're willing to try things with maybe someone that you feel comfortable with, your man.
But then I feel like that's
That's
different. Then that's.
So then, what is your definition of sexually
So I
liberated?
feel like it's all bullshit. I feel like it's labels, schmable. Like
Label,
people
label.
do what they want. Like I feel like it's on a spectrum. You know what I mean? Even sexuality, I feel like it's on a spectrum. Some people be like, you're either a lesbian or gay or you're straight. You know what I
Like,
mean? Even people don't
there's
even
no
believe
gray.
in like people who are bi. Like I feel like things are on a spectrum for sexuality. You know, for different things.
And hoism.
Right. So for hoism, that could be on a spectrum.
Yeah, because you might be a level 1 hoe
Right.
Right.
and not a level 10 hoe.
So,
Right.
so give us a level 1 hoe. What would a level?
All right, a
one
level
and
hoe.
what would a
All
level 10
right, a
hoe
level
look like?
1 hoe is just probably someone who is just a little fast.
Just a little fast.
Hey,
Just a little
That's
fast.
a
So, okay.
like,
Just a
like,
little fast,
just
right?
a little- like,
Fast.
like instead of walking, they jog. Like
Wait,
that kind of
what?
fast.
A brisk walk.
A brisk walk. Okay.
Yo.
You briskly walk into level 10. So, all right, so I would say like a level 1 hoe probably would be someone who kind of jumps into the sex part of a relationship sooner than she probably should.
You don't
Meaning-
have to be a hoe to do that.
No, but if you constantly do it with everyone, that would constitute
Okay,
you as
with
a hoe.
everyone.
Yeah,
with
with
everyone.
That would definitely constitute you as a hoe. Someone who's sexually liberated, you probably just are free about your sexual encounters and endeavors.
preference
and
and what you
probably
like, yeah.
are very open about it. Because sometimes there's a lot of silent hoes. Then
Right.
you have the loud hoes too. But I'm just talking about how you would kind of label yourself. Like, what would you say? Am I acting like a little hoe right now, or am I just free? Like, think about it from Girlfriends, Lynn. What do you think she was? A hoe or sexually
Was
liberated?
that the mixed one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think she was?
I think she would consider herself sexually liberated.
I think
Yeah,
I think
I feel like-
she was a hoe at times.
At times.
She had hoish tendency.
tendency.
Like some nights she would be a hoe, and then some nights she would be sexually
So it
liberated.
erases sometimes.
Because it would be like, you know, she
One
would
night you could be a
have,
hoe.
like
Next
she would
night,
have, she
it's
would
a
have.
race.
Because you could engage in some hoe shit, but you not be a hoe. Like, you get it? So, like, let's take it to some. All right, so let's say, all right, you probably had like a one night stand. That's like, damn, that was some hoe shit. But I don't really do that all the time. So I don't think that one time slip would constitute you as a hoe. Because I think hoe behavior is pattern behavior.
Right.
Something that you always do. But sexually liberated is a little different. And I felt like Lynn was more sexually liberated. And sometimes she had her whole moments. Like, I remember one episode where she was in that 9-month celibate relationship, and she said, the next man I find, I'm gonna fuck him. Even though she didn't, but she still had that mindset. I'm finding somebody tonight, and I'm gonna get my rocks off. It was one of those. That's whole behavior.
Yes.
So what do you think?
What about you,
So
Kiara?
I don't know.
What you mean?
I don't know, and I don't give a shit. Really.
That's how I feel like
I
it's,
just
it's a
don't-
label that we put on people for a reason, and mostly is put on women. Like a lot of times we don't put the same labels on men, even though we can say, "Oh, hoe is for female and male." I feel like most of the time is the purpose for shaming women.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like I don't like. What is the purpose of that title? And then.
To make people feel bad about the choices they make with their vagina or their penis.
Yeah, but you should be more conscious of where you go.
Where you go. Or what you let into you.
But what what if you're practicing safe sex, right? But like that's just who I am. I want to have sex with a lot of people.
No, but it's also, I feel like it's more than just sex because it's a transference of energy as well. And you don't know these people.
For you.
Well, but that's what I believe. Like somebody could have some bad juju on her. Or
that's
you
like
get what I'm saying?
That's anything. That's just not with sex.
Yeah, and then now
understand.
you're
But she's saying it's bigger with sex because that person has now entered you.
Yeah.
A friend they can probably infiltrate you other ways.
I entered you.
yeah. So
I'm sorry. Infiltrate other ways.
So for those listening, she just was poking
and said she entered me.
Yeah.
I poked. Yeah.
She over here being a hoe, y'all.
Oh my God, no, not. But yeah, it's like it's more for me. It's more than even if you don't care about the person, like that has nothing to do with it, whatever the case may be. But it's like a transfers of energy because it is energy. You're having sex with someone, you distributing energy, and that person distributing energy to you.
Do you think like a hoe might have a sexual addiction?
It could be. Could be.
I would think so. Like, why do you need sex all the time with a whole?
Or try to fill in some type of void.
Okay, so sometimes void.
There,
That's
I
what I
was
was
about to say.
about
I
to
think
say.
that's where she
Because
was
a lot
going.
of times sex isn't just about the physical, right? So like, okay, I want to feel close to you.
I want to feel wanted.
I want to feel wanted. I want to feel
not even loved.
Right, just wanted by someone, right? So it doesn't have to be the physical part of like, I want sex. I want to feel good, but it could be fulfilling other things.
That's their outlet.
Yeah. So I definitely think if somebody's, I don't know. I feel like,
and then also there's a factor of using protection.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
if
if somebody's safe, if you're safe,
yeah, like you were saying, there's levels to it.
So let's say you're both a level 10 hoe, but one doesn't use protection and the other one does. Does the one that doesn't use protection shoot up to level 20?
Yes.
How does it work?
I think
Automatic.
You think so?
Absolutely.
So you're a wild dirty hoe.
You're
so
a
that's
wild
the
dirty
other
hoe.
spectrum.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
So we gotta have the clean hoe and the dirty hoe spectrum.
The
Yes.
judgment of
Absolutely.
women. Oh my god!
No, it's not even.
No, it's no judgment.
as a man
We wanna put
too.
categories. It's just a conversation.
No, I'm just saying, but it's not even judgment. It's like
You
I work.
doing it.
Okay, I work in a health clinic, so I see a lot of STDs, STIs, and all of this other stuff, and that shit is real, bro. That shit is really real. It is crazy
But
when
then
people
people
have to really live on medication for the rest of their lives because they made a bad choice,
But
or because
sometimes
they
it's
couldn't
not a bad
wait.
choice. Sometimes you think you're in a committed relationship,
Sometimes
and
that
someone
happens too.
gives you an STD.
And that would fucking suck.
Yeah, that doesn't make me a
does-
hoe. I'm thinking I'm in a
but she's
committed
really,
relationship.
no, she's referring to the hoes.
Yeah, we're referring to the hoes now. Because if you're in a committed relationship and that's the only person you have sex with, you're not a hoe.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, hey.
Because these men out here
But I do
hoeing.
feel like there is a difference between hoe and sexually liberated, as I just explained. But I guess it's just different spectrums to it. So now we just made subcategories. So you said
I was about to say,
clean
yeah,
hoe,
right.
level 1 to 10.
I think
and
it's
then you had
all
the dirty
bullshit.
Hoe,
Level 1 to 10.
It's all
so
bullshit.
you think it's bullshit.
It's
So
all
you
bullshit.
saying that you would put yourself in the same category as a dirty hoe?
I'm not talking about category. I'm just saying the label is created for a purpose, and most of the time it's to shame women. So being like, are you a hoe versus sexually liberated? Like,
But
Okay.
sometimes it might not be the shame.
So no. I see it as it's not for shaming. It's like everything has a name. Like you have a name.
Right.
Whitney has a name.
Yep.
So
Karen
you're-
has a name.
so you're
I have a
describing
name.
that you're labeling that behavior.
No, wait. Yes. So like even in psychology, you label certain behaviors and certain disorders and certain, things. So
You would know
that's
about
the name
labels?
of it.
No, but what I'm talking
And
about,
I get
I'm
what
talking
you're
about is context. Like we're not calling someone a hoe just for the sake of like, oh, this behavior is
a hoe.
hoedom.
This is
Like
hoe, yeah.
we're not doing it. We're
hoe
doing it to be
behavior.
like, yo, that bitch is a hoe. Like look at her.
Because of her behavior.
That's what I'm saying. But
or his behavior.
But I'm just talking about the context in which like we
It's
use
used
it.
now,
I
it's
understand what
used-
you're saying.
Yeah, that's
So
all.
let's
That's what I'm
say-
saying.
Yeah,
So
so
do you
it has
feel
a
like
negative.
you just feel like hoe is just very derogative, and it's just like if this is what she chooses to do with her life or her box, that's her business. All right, got it. So now, do you feel better with slut? Does
What?
that make you feel better?
No, I feel like they're all derogatory
Yeah,
terms.
Yeah,
Like-
they are, but you don't feel like
No, I'm just like the whole like, okay, what's the difference between you ask me like, what do you think is the difference between a hoe and someone who's sexual? I don't know, and I don't care. Like I just feel like it's used in a negative way. Like I don't whether you're calling someone a hoe or
So you feel like someone's sexual preference shouldn't even have a label; they should just be able to do what they want to do.
it can have a label. I'm just saying that the whole label is something derogatory.
It's negative.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
There's a lot
Like
of
you
things
can
that-
can label whatever. I'm just saying it's all bullshit. You can label whatever.
I mean,
you
I don't
want.
agree, but I mean, I
Right.
get it.
Yeah, you
get
can
what you're
label. You
saying.
can label it whatever you want.
Okay.
Right.
So, is sex on the first date, first night, a deal breaker for a potential relationship, or do you feel like, yeah, you can have sex on the first night and then that can end up being your husband, your wife?
Yes.
It could be.
Yep.
Again,
Absolutely.
Yep.
again, you do what you want to do, and it's based off of feelings and all of that stuff. So you
me
can do that.
and my man. Hey Johan, hey baby. He's daddy.
You're probably like, I don't want
Johan,
that.
she about to tell your
Sip my
business.
ginger ale.
Well, I mean,
He's
that's her
daddy.
man. That's her long-term
Like,
man.
yeah, because we had sex before we were like exclusively dating.
It was a first night type situation?
Well, we met. We knew each other, but we never like hung around each other like we weren't friends or nothing like
No,
that.
I mean sex on the first date.
Like you
Y'all
meet
had
them
sex
and
on the
then
first
sex.
date. Y'all went on a date, then he blew you back
No
up.
matter
Is that
how
what happened?
no matter
we
how
had
long
sex,
you do him.
we had sex before we even went on a first date.
Oh, you just wildin'.
That was the
Honestly,
first
like
date. Sex was the first date.
So, is that whole behavior?
And here we are.
Is that whole behavior, or were you sexually liberated, or you just need a little hot ass? What was
She
it?
knew what she
How
wanted.
do you label it?
I needed some dick.
Is it
You
okay
see?
to label
You
that?
see?
There it is.
That's
What'd
what
you
I'm
say?
talking
What'd you
about.
say?
I needed dick.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
He popping, I'm popping. We was popping together.
That's what I'm freaking saying.
No, but
And especially
I'm
as
not
the
all right.
person who's doing
For
it.
me, I feel like in my past, I've had hoish behaviors, and I feel like at moments we all do. But are you that?
Kiara was like,
That's where.
Because
You
it's like,
see?
have you lied before?
have I lied before?
Yes.
I was
But
about
are
to
you a
use that.
liar?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She said she was a liar.
No, I'm saying yeah, like I'm
To me, it's a liar.
Lying asshole.
I'm saying yeah, like okay, your point. Okay.
Not only are you
Yeah.
a hoe, but you a lying asshole.
Right. So yeah.
Yes.
I
So
would love to hear a perspective of a man
We probably
on
should
this
have had
topic.
that.
Yeah.
We've been together for 29 years now, so BTW.
Guys, she's 29. She couldn't have possibly been 29.
All right, but we soulmates. So in my mind,
But that's what I'm saying.
we been together for 29 years.
It's fine
all my
because
life.
you can. I feel like you can definitely have a connection with someone on that first date.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to express that physically, That is your right.
And that goes
And
back.
that's not a whole.
That goes back to what I was saying with the transference of energy when you having sex.
Yeah.
So it could get that energy. He could get it from you, and you get it from him, and it's just like, ooh, wait a minute, I kind of want to be with this person for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because I feel like there's,
I like that shit.
there's a lot of like books and stuff, like Megan Good and her husband.
And
they
that's
have
how
a
I
book
got
about
him.
like waiting to have sex until you know.
So how do y'all feel about that?
Waiting?
No sex until marriage.
That's a
What do y'all think
personal.
about that?
Clearly, I didn't exercise.
I didn't follow that rule.
What?
Pick me. Okay. So with. No, I mean you making me forget what I was saying. What we was talking about?
What were we talking about? Where she is? What were we talking about?
Waiting to have sex until you're married.
Okay, so that's that I feel like my personal opinion is I feel like you should have sex with the person before you get married. Why? Because what if it's whack? And then now you in a marriage and now you going out cheating
I have a counter for that.
to get your.
So let's say you're with your soulmate or your life partner,
So does it?
and you didn't have sex. Regardless, if you're meant to be with that person, I feel like the sex is gonna be great anyway because of the love that you guys have created for each other.
Yeah, I
And
feel
the
like
build up to the moment.
Yeah.
But I totally understand. I want to test drive my car before I drive it.
yeah, I know.
But I feel
Because
like your
honestly,
sex is
sex
after.
plays a huge role in
But it
relationships.
should
does.
not be the only
Huge.
thing.
I
in
think
your
it shouldn't be the
relationship.
only
But
thing.
it
'cause I
does
feel
play a
like
huge role.
I feel like with anything, like when you're in a partnership with someone, I feel like you're never gonna meet someone where like 100% of your needs are met. Like they meet all of your
80-20
freaking
rule.
criteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like I think if sex is important to you and they lack that, that might be an issue. But what if you're not like a real sexual person?
Right.
Like, all right,
So we're doing this and it's good. And
right.
here
Because
we
I
are.
know somebody like that. Like their partner was like everything else like was checked off, but the sex was
whack.
not there.
But I do feel like if everything else is there, you can work on the sex.
Right.
Yeah.
If the person is willing to.
Yeah.
That was the
You have to
problem
be
with
open
her.
about
That's
it.
the problem.
They
You have
were
to be
like,
willing. Because you got to teach
just-
them.
yeah.
And that could be fun.
Yeah, because like
Showing
not
them
every car,
how
not
to-
every car is the same.
Yeah.
And not every car runs the same. You know what I'm saying? He
I'm
might
so
like
sorry
it.
that we're labeling people as cars. Like this car don't work. This one.
Right.
I
You're a
mean,
mechanic.
it's just-
Yeah, like
No, it is what it
sometimes, like
is.
you know how sometimes you get somebody else's car and the brakes you have to hit on it a little bit harder because it doesn't stop like how
So
your
basically,
car.
just take your relationship to the shop, and then it'll work for you. That's I
Yeah.
feel like that's
Oh my
what y'all
God.
saying.
Next.
All right, so the whole situation that we're having with this generation, I feel like the whole side chick, side dude thing. Is this like the norm of this 2019 and this millennial generational thing? Is side dude and side chick the new norm because people are just not satisfied in their relationship?
Yeah.
Or just because they just cheat because they can?
So I don't know if it's the new norm.
Right.
So I feel like it's been happening for a minute because I've been hearing stories.
But it's kind of celebrated now.
That's
That's-
the difference, I think. Like I hear stories from people that I know who are older, and they're like, "Yeah, dude had a whole family, whole side family, this,
Well,
that."
yeah.
Especially certain kind of men, but we're not gonna.
That is all men. Before I used to be like,
Right.
"Yo, it's just Caribbean men, yeah, it's
Caribbean
just
men,
African
yeah.
men." No, it's all men.
all men.
American, Spanish, I don't give a fuck.
All of them. But we know that one particular set of men, they be having whole ass families.
Who's that?
I ain't saying.
Oh, okay.
You gonna get Joe Budden
We
out
know.
here. They're gonna be having
We
To
you
me,
all
to me,
soaked
back in the day, I used to think it was particular culture, but no,
Yeah, I thought so as
no,
well.
I grew up. Like it ain't a particular culture.
Just for the record, guys, she told me that I did not grow up.
I feel like
She
you
just
know,
low key said that I'm a child.
like
No,
you were
but for
saying.
real, I definitely feel like it's celebrated. And then again, if we talk about social media, that plays a role into it. Because now everything's like,
Everybody
oh, look at
is
him.
so easily accessible.
Right. You can
And
see
that's
it
part of the
happening.
problem.
Before it
Yeah.
was like, oh, a love child just pops up. And you're like, wait, I didn't know that was
I
going
didn't know,
on.
right.
Now on social media, he's in the club with the chick. Like, you can see it happening
and
real
back.
time.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a side dude before?
Oh.
No,
Sip my little ginger ale.
So
no.
none
Back
of
in my
y'all
days,
ever had
No.
a side nigga?
What's
Back
a
in my-
side dude? What's a
Wait,
side dude?
whatever.
Side chick?
I'm
What's
gonna
the
keep it real. I
What's
absolutely
the
have had a side
definition?
nigga. All right, so basically a side nigga is probably your extra boyfriend, your boyfriend number 2.
Extra
Y'all
boyfriend.
never had a side
There's
Okay.
a
nigga.
main boyfriend. There's a main
No.
person, then a
Never.
side
but
person.
I have never but when back in my single days, I'd be talking to multiple dudes.
But if
and
you're
each
single,
one,
A
each one had their.
A side guy is you're in a relationship, and then you have your extracurricular activities.
And
Wait,
then
but
is
hold on.
it one quick question?
Wait,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but what if the relationship is pretty much ending? Would the person that you're seeing on the side
If
still
the other person still thinks that they're in a relationship, then
still
that's
a
your
side,
dude.
yeah.
You got something to tell us?
Yeah, that's good.
You sure?
Okay, and then there's the question. Okay, so what if a person cheats with the other person like one time? Are they still considered the side person? If it's like a one time?
No, that was just like a one-time slip up.
Okay, so this is somebody that is reoccurring.
That means you had a whole relationship.
Okay,
That's
it's
pretty much what a
reoccurring.
side dude
Yeah,
is.
you had a
Because that would
schedule.
just be considered cheating.
Yeah.
Well, side dude and side chick, that is cheating.
No, but that's a
if you do
different.
it
It's
one
levels.
time, that's just considered the cheating. You're not considered my
Okay, so
side
the
dude
side
unless
pieces-
I'm literally carrying on a second relationship with that person.
Yeah.
Second
Y'all are
relationship.
angels, I guess.
What if it's a sex buddy on the side? Is that still your side person?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
because
Okay.
you use
Because
it for
it's a
something.
habitual thing. You keep doing it over and over.
It's still
Okay.
some form of relationship. It
So
may not
I've
be.
never had a side person.
Me neither.
So you say you did?
Yeah, so tell us about that.
Well,
Where my ginger ale?
I'm running.
She about to get in
Fuck
trouble
your
in
ginger
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How she gonna get in the trouble? She not even in a relationship.
exactly.
All right, tell us.
All right, so I was in a relationship, but I felt like I wasn't being fulfilled in certain aspects. So it's just like I created the perfect man by having two. If you can kind of understand what I see. So it's like, so I'm not gonna get all these things that I need from you, and I get that. But you still good. You still my main. I love you and shit.
So my question
But
is,
I need this one too.
Oh my god.
so my
Because-
question is, why not break up with the first person and then find somebody?
Because I don't even think the perfect person exists. So I just wasn't in the headspace to accept that, and I just wanted my 100%. So I probably got my 80 from you, and then I got that 20 that I felt like I really, really, really needed from the other person, and then I created this perfect relationship.
And you.
So
were
how
in
did
your
it work
head.
out?
Okay,
How did it
you
work
must say
out? How did it work
How did
out?
you sustain that?
Well,
How
this-
it work
this is
out?
More than one time. All right. So
Oh God! Oh shit!
So does that make you a hoe?
Oh, wait, does that make you a hoe?
this would make me.
Sexually liberated, right?
That would definitely.
The whole
No.
whole.
Shut up. Listen. That would definitely be considered whole behavior. Like you have a whole ass boyfriend, you still fucking the next. Yes, that is considered whole behavior.
Okay.
Is it a whole make?
Is it a whole what?
Is it a whole make? Am I never
making up
considered a
new
hoe?
terms.
I said
Right.
a whole
Nah,
make.
sis.
That's it. Does it make you a whole? Like you said. No, if you do it once or twice, it doesn't make you a whole.
Because it's her.
Whole
You don't
behavior.
know.
No, but just like you said to her, if you lied one time, does that make you a liar?
Well, what if you were a hoe in the past? Does that carry over?
Well, apparently, according to Drea, your wholeness can be deleted.
I did hear
but
about that.
You can be a reformed hoe.
A reformed
You
hoe?
absolutely can be a reformed hoe.
Yes.
But doesn't mean that you're still not a hoe. In your past
So
life.
you're gonna follow
You're
up? Are you
reformed.
gonna give us the second situation?
Oh yeah.
First of all, relax.
No, I'm ready for
And
that.
I mean,
some
both
more
situations
context.
were kind of similar. So it was like I just felt like certain things weren't being met, and I didn't feel like the attempt to fulfill what I felt like was missing was, being taken seriously.
So again,
So it's like I give you the opportunity to fix it, and if you don't fix it, I'm gonna fix it, I guess, myself.
or why isn't leaving an option? Like,
Because I still want you.
So wait.
So you
Have you
a selfish
in these
hoe.
situations?
selfish hoe.
Right.
You a selfish hoe.
In these situations. Did
Person
you
who don't like the whole label.
did you ever speak to your main about any issues that was?
Yes, I said.
Okay.
Literally, I gave
You
you.
said,
the
if you don't
opportunity
change,
to
I'm gonna
change
cheat
it.
on your ass.
Right.
And if you didn't want to change it,
But you
then
didn't tell
I'm
me you
gonna
was gonna cheat
fulfill
on
it
him.
myself. Of course, I'm gonna say I'm gonna cheat on you.
Why don't people keep it 100 like that?
I would like for people to be transparent.
Because people don't want people to leave them. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people
duh.
will be like, no, this is
I
unacceptable.
still like other shit about you. I still want you around.
Such an
I'm having my
asshole.
moment. Like I feel like all relationships go through seasons. It's how you act in that off season is how it can determine if it works or not.
This is true.
So I may only want to have my second boyfriend during the spring season.
Oh, God.
When summer, fall, and winter come, maybe it's just me and you again. Sometimes it's one of those seasons. Sometimes that's the way it happens. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I get it. I get it.
this.
I don't necessarily agree,
judgmental-
but I
I'm
get it.
not judgmental. I'm not judgmental. I'm not judgmental.
How is it the two married ones?
I'm not judgmental.
I'm just trying to understand that.
Do you? The thing is, I've been on the other side of that, so that's
I've been on both sides of it as well.
right. So that's why I look at things differently. Like, if there's an issue, first of all, okay, it's good that you're giving the person an opportunity to address it. I feel like a lot of men don't. Like, they have an issue, they don't like to communicate, and they're like, well, she's not fixing something that I'm not even telling her about.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm gonna go find something elsewhere.
Because it's easier for men to cheat, and because it's like well, I can't say it's for every man, but I just feel like their moral compass is a lot different than
Absolutely.
females. And
Yeah.
the way, not for me to say females than women, because when we cheat, sometimes it has more emotional stuff
Yeah.
around how we feel. They look like, she got a fat ass, I'm a fuck.
Right.
Right.
As to us, I don't really think that we say,
know.
yo,
He
he
got-
got
he-
sexy.
And then
He got a fat ass.
Yeah.
And then it's so crazy because the fat ass don't mean nothing because there's been a lot of
But
times
he ain't gonna know that's what
where
he gonna find
And
out.
it's whack.
and then it's just like it's whack. It's like you
Yeah.
got a big old
And
ass,
that's
but
why
no,
You don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do.
So why do y'all think that men have, you call it a lower moral compass,
Did
or
you say
some
lower?
some people might call it something else? Like, do you think it's like evolutionary? Some people say like, oh, like
That's
you
how
know,
I am.
that's like men used to
Because
do that back
men-
in the day. Like,
It's not even a back in the day thing. I just think that men can compartmentalize things better than we can. Be like, yo, I don't want her. This is strictly physical. For us, we always want to be extra and tie emotions to shit. They don't really do that all the time.
Right.
Some men probably do, but for the most part, they're able to be like, nah, this is just physical. I don't want her. I just did that one time or maybe 2 times, whatever. But
but that's what I'm
don't
saying.
have
Like,
no emotional
what
attachment
makes
to that
them?
woman.
What makes it that they're good at compartmentalizing? Like, is it genetic? Is it like how
It just
they're
might
raised?
be the
Is
way
it?
the male brain is wired.
That's a good question. Maybe something we need to do
I
like a
don't
little
know.
study
No, we
on
should
or
have had.
something.
We should have had.
What degree you got?
I got a mental health counseling degree.
Tell her.
Tell the people.
Talk about it.
Tell the people.
No, I'm
that.
asking. It's just conversation.
Mentally retarded. Are they?
That's not even the
They
right
might.
term.
What is
Oh
it?
my gosh.
Socially, what's the typical
Lord,
term?
I don't.
You told
that's
me the
not,
other day, I
yes,
can't
but
say
that's
it.
not a. That's okay. That's completely different.
Yeah, but I still want to know what the term
No,
is.
I ain't telling you the term right
No,
now.
what is it? Is
No.
it
Gonna
Google it. We
socially?
gonna
Because
find
that's
out.
different.
No, but I still want to know what it is. So I'm gonna use
All
that.
right, so
today.
you keep thinking about it.
Why you not gonna tell me?
Cause you're using it in the wrong
Ew,
context.
so what? Let me live.
She's so petty.
Sure, bitch, you ain't gonna get my license
Exactly.
revoked.
They'll Samia on air talking about.
Talk about men are damn. What is
She don't know the word
Talent.
good.
Right.
Good.
socially?
Yeah, keep it that way.
So
Next.
is it acceptable? Do you find it like that? I don't want to say nowadays because I feel like it's always been like that. Like I feel like more on the women's side, we are expected to, and a lot of times we do just take it or take them back.
Who?
So
Oh, my
you
bad.
know,
I'm
like
be
you
out
know,
up in
if
this
a
bitch.
man
Who?
if a man cheats, all right. So if I feel like if a man cheats on a woman and she finds out, it's like all right, let's work through it. But if it was vice versa, the dude would just up and leave.
So
Yeah, because they can't take it.
well, that ain't.
So when do you
Right.
when is enough? When do you feel like enough is enough?
So you think? So my thing is, I'm just talking about me, right? I feel like I was naive for the longest time. Like for the longest time, I'm like, nah, like most men ain't out here doing this. Like, what
Right.
you mean?
Right.
And my mom would always tell me, she's like, yo, all men cheat. She's like, not some, not most,
Oh, shit.
all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, what?
Right.
what
In
you
some way,
mean?
shape, or form, because there's different types too.
Right.
I
There's
feel
levels
like-
to cheating.
Right.
Right.
So
It's
like,
not just physical.
Right.
so in my mind, I was like, this isn't something that happens often. So if it is behavior that happens, I'm not accepting that.
Right.
Because most people don't do this shit.
Right.
And then I started being exposed to shit. And I'm like, okay, so
maybe it
this
does.
this
It
does
does
happen
happen.
often. But I still have that mindset. Like
Everybody doesn't cheat, or
I still have the mindset of like, I'm just not gonna take you back. I don't have the same mindset of not everybody cheats. Like
so you don't
that's
think
different.
that you don't think that it's normal for someone to have a weak moment and maybe that was taken advantage of, or they just made a mistake. So you think that one mistake means that it's over forever?
So I do believe that people make mistakes, but again, we're talking about the culture, right? This is not a culture of I just made a mistake. This is a culture of I'm having side pieces, and this is okay.
No,
and
so
you
you
should
say
accept
for
that.
you, it's you feel like
For
it's
me,
over.
it's still not okay. Yeah, for me.
No, of course it's not
Yeah.
okay. But you're saying that I'm not saying that your husband would ever cheat. God
Right.
forbid. But had this situation did arise in your marriage, it's over forever.
We'd have to talk about some things. But I feel like it's the attitude that we have, right? If you're going into a situation and you're like, well, most men do cheat. Well, this might happen here. You might slip up. I feel like sometimes that gives people the message once you're messaging, right? Like, yeah, men do
that
that.
is okay.
I've heard that before. Like, women be like, yeah, men do shit. Oh, if you expect that we gonna do shit,
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
it. I'm gonna do
Because
it.
obviously you're gonna stay if that's your mindset. Like,
Exactly.
oh, I knew he was gonna do it.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
So
Exactly.
I was just waiting for the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with me, I'm putting the message out there that that's fucking unacceptable. If we get to that point and, you know, my opinion changes about that, so be it. But I'm telling you from the get-go, this is unfucking acceptable. That's what I'm letting you know.
Right.
And then the thing is, when you do enter a relationship, even though it's not written out for us, we obviously know if we're exclusive, we shouldn't be cheating.
Right.
But you do have that moment where it does happen. And like I said, I've been on both sides of it. So it's just like, yeah, I know why I did it. And would I do it again in this lifetime? I don't know. I'm hoping that
Lord.
Like a habitual cheater.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I'm
that I
gonna do
would
it again.
not. But I mean, I'm at a time in my life where it's just like, nah, it's probably time to settle down. So you know,
Right.
that's cool and shit. I guess.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
alright.
You was about to ask a question.
No, I was gonna ask you because like we were saying, like y'all two are married. So I know for like just a regular relationship is different than when you're married.
Right.
That's like a whole
Because when
nother
you're
level.
married,
Right.
That's
you
another.
went into a legal contract.
Right.
Stood
Under
before
God.
God.
Stood before
Yeah.
And
God.
said, I will forsake others.
Right.
And then your ass
Over
is
here.
forsaking
Doing
everybody.
Over here having bitches sit on the face.
Having relations with everybody.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that is different. I feel
Right.
like if you're married, the things that you're doing, if this is like your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're not held up to the same standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So similar to like what Mia said, like I would have to, my husband and I would have to talk about it. I can't say I'm up and leaving. You know what I mean? I
Right.
can't. I think how we react to certain situations is like when we actually go through them, we can sit here and be like, I'm
Exactly.
not taking him back. I'm leaving. And then the
then the
situation
situation
happens, and
happens
then you're like,
I took him back. I took him back.
I love him.
It depends. I feel like it depends on the circumstances,
Yes.
and it depends on is this the first time, or is
Right.
this the 10th time?
Right.
Right.
Because this is the 10th time. Like clearly, you not even trying to change, my nigga. Like
Right.
Yeah.
at this point, like you have no respect for me. Like you just told
that
me,
brings me to the next
told me
topic.
Yeah,
fuck
I was
you
about to say
and
something.
everything you about, and I don't give a fuck about you.
So do you think that this generation is numb
Yes.
to the old school practices of relationships? And not to say that the old school practices were like foolproof and no one ever cheated, because obviously people cheated back then too.
They did,
They were
but then they
cheating and
kept
they
it
were staying.
under wraps. Like literally, what happened in the family stayed in the family. Nobody knew about it, but those people.
Until you get older, and you're like,
You're like, oh, you got a
But
whole
now it's like
family?
more public with the social
Yeah.
media and stuff like. So now it's more out there.
I just feel like there's less respect
Yeah.
these days in a sense. And when I say old practices, I'm just talking about the way people engage and interact with each other. I just feel like the whole courtship is no longer what it used to be, because a lot of men, you hear it all the time, oh, I ain't taking bitches on date because all they just want is a free meal. All they
Right.
want is this,
Right.
this, that, and the third. Everybody gold diggers. Like, everybody is not like that.
Right.
And yes, maybe you're attracted to those type of girls, and that's
And
why
that's
you
your
had that
fault.
experience. So everything tied to dating, you just feel like it's a loss for you.
Yeah, and I feel like music influences all of this. Like it's all these bitches. That's all about sex. Fuck these hoes. Like that's
And then
all.
think
This
about
Okay,
City
no,
Girls.
no, no. All
What's
right.
the first damn
So-
line, Billy? What's the first line of City Girls? Real ass bitch girl.
What is it?
Real ass bitch give a fuck about niggas.
Oh, yeah,
so
real
that,
ass
and
bitch
they
don't
think
give
that
a fuck
all
about
girls
nigga.
have that mentality, and we really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
But
social media will lead you to think.
I'm gonna disagree on you with the music thing, because there's always been music about this shit.
Sure have.
It's just.
Think about
It's
Escape.
just.
You know
It's
my
just.
little secret.
But
Back in
before
the day.
that, though, like in the
But
70s,
but
the
now
music,
it's more vulgar.
No, I mean,
I think.
well, maybe. Because I'm
Because
thinking about like
before-
Temptations and
before, like,
love
think about-
songs
yeah,
and
think about it.
Those
R&B.
mad love
It was
songs.
love songs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but you don't, because a lot of those love songs have like this.
yeah,
back
there are some that
thing,
you're like,
and it
wait
sounds
a minute.
and it sounds
Yeah.
good. It's like yeah, fuck bitches and da da da. But it's like okay, dress it up to make it look nice, so it doesn't look like what it is.
What was that song I was
Now it's
listening
just
to?
like
It's
really
just out
vulgar.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to like. I feel like if you're gonna be in a relationship just to cheat, like some people get in relationships because it's convenient. And they really don't care
And that's
that
more
much
of
about
a
it.
relationship of convenience because, all right, I need somebody to split this rent with. New York is expensive.
Oh yeah, people do that all the
Yeah,
time.
And just like you're not in love, you're in convenience. Like, yeah, I need this person to survive, so I guess I'll have him here. And like,
They be
that's
having a
not
whole
fair
nother
because
life with
probably
somebody else.
Both parties don't even agree to that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of being led on, and that also brings it to the millennial dating life.
Yeah, and then we like want like satisfaction really quick. You know what I mean? So if I'm in a relationship with you and you're not
Immediate
giving
gratification.
me,
Instant gratification.
yeah,
Okay.
instant gratification. Like if you're not giving me what I want, well, I could just find it somewhere
Right. The
else.
turnover,
But that's
Instead
mad
of-
fine.
turnover is quick.
Son, instead of working it
Working,
out
yeah.
with that
Yeah.
person,
But
like
next.
right, thank you next,
Right.
like
Exactly.
come on, we got
Yeah,
songs
we
about
got
that.
songs
Thank
about
you
it, yeah.
next. Like no one's talking about making it work with the person that you care about.
Right. It's just like, okay, well, this is hard. I quit. But remember, anything that is gained easily is just as easy as you got it. Is it goes away as easy. You have to work hard
Anything
for things that worth
what?
having.
Worth
takes
Having
worth-
is worth fighting for.
Yep.
is worth fighting for. Absolutely, and it's hard work.
It just seems like that notion is kind of lost now.
Yeah.
Like you still have those people who are just like die hard for love. Like, nah. Although this generation is a lot different than what maybe my parents dealt with, I'm still going to try my best to find that love and do my best in a relationship, put my best foot forward. But then it's also kind of hard because the whole cheating culture makes it so damn hard to be in a relationship these days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
So think about, I don't know if y'all, no, I do know, but y'all parents aren't together. All right, but
Yeah. No.
how did y'all parents meet? Like,
Well, my parents were together for a minute, so
So
it was
my
just until
parents-
recently that they split.
honestly, my parents. Well, my mother didn't marry my father for love. It was
marriage of convenience?
yes. So well, and my grandmother wanted her to marry him because
So more like
he lived down the block and his family was this and his family was that and you should marry him because he's a good guy.
A locally
And-
arranged marriage. And it's-
Yeah, so she was just like, I guess.
guess.
You get what I'm saying?
Why not?
Which
I'll
sucks.
do it.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
Have
because
couple
he ain't
kids.
shit ass nigga. But thank God for him because then I
Oh,
wouldn't
damn.
be here. But
Shout out to your ancient daddy.
Daddy wasn't there to take
Daddy
me to
wasn't
the
there.
fair.
Stop it. Stop
He
it.
was a
Stop
Rolling
it.
Stone, but we got our bitch, so it's all good.
Gang, gang.
Oh my!
And I'm just looking at them high five and I'm like,
so ignorant. No, so my parents, they're still together. And they've been together for 37 years? 37
Wow,
years.
that's a blessing.
that is a
So,
blessing.
yeah, because you don't really have that these days, it seems.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
people break up for the dumbest
Yep.
things.
Yeah, things that you can just literally talk about it, like express emotions when it first happens, instead of letting it build, and then just blow up situation and just
But in those days, when you got married, you really did get married for better and for worse.
right.
And is
Because
that-
they've had their issues within the relationship, but they've
Right.
worked through it because they really took seriously the constitution of marriage.
Right.
It wasn't this little fly-by-night thing. And they've been together since they were teenagers. Married for 37 years, but they've been together, I think, since 15, 16.
And I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't believe in marriage anymore.
Huh?
I think that's another reason why people don't believe in marriage anymore.
Why?
Because people will just get married, they in love today and they get married and then tomorrow some
And
dumb
they-
shit
they
happens
get
and it's
married
like we
for
divorced.
The show of marriage.
Oh yeah,
Not
that's
because of the
that's
love of
trending
it.
now. Marriages,
Yes.
wedding, not marriages. Weddings are
Yes,
trending now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And baby shower / weddings.
And gender
Yeah.
reveals.
gender reveals.
Yeah.
Mad
Like, all
sure.
right, we gotta be together because I need a poppin' gender reveal, I need a nice marriage, and I need us to have a whole bunch of poppin' social media pictures.
Meanwhile, she
Just
got a
fake.
side dude, he got a side chick, and
And then
y'all
there's-
out here in these
Yeah.
streets looking stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
But then another, like a flip side to like people who like back in the day got married and stayed together for a while. I've read people be like, well, those people aren't happy.
In
Like
some
you can
cases,
stay
yes.
together, but
Right, but
maybe you're not happy. So
Mhm.
maybe it is better nowadays.
No,
that
but
No,
why you not happy?
Values
I'm just saying what
values
people
have
are
dropped,
have
have
said.
declined
People are saying.
tremendously due to all these other influences and other things infiltrating relationships and breaking up bonds.
But then if you think about it, like who's teaching us how to have successful relationships and marriages?
If we don't have no one to look to,
Celebrities?
right? Yeah.
Well, for me, I
Right.
have a very
You have-
close
you have-
example. I have
yeah,
my parents.
exactly.
So for people who don't, I think that you kind of have to create that for yourself.
Well,
Right.
for me,
Think about what you
I was
want and
about
what
to
will
say.
make you happy.
like for me, like especially like they say, you know, girls who don't grow up with their dads, they always look for somebody
something,
and
yeah.
blah blah blah. XYZ. For me, I just saw my mother and my dad's relationship the time that they were together, and look at the things that I didn't like and be like, all right, I don't want
know,
that.
yeah.
I may not know what I do
Sometimes
want,
that bad
but
example
yes,
ends up
I
being
don't
your
know
good
what I
example.
do want, but I do know what I don't want.
Right.
Right.
And
That's
that
how you
is not
create
what
it.
I want. And that kind of
Yeah.
molded what my idea of what I wanted in a relationship. You know?
Well,
So, and I'm
my-
thinking. Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. I was like, well, my example were my grandparents. My mother and my dad, they got together very, very young, like 15, 16, at McDonald's right there in Queens. She was working, I think, she was working the fries or he was working the register. I don't know. And then and then here I am. But my grandparents, I like both, like on my dad's side and my mom's side, like they have both gone through different things, but they still have persevered and like, you know, made it out and still are together to this day.
That's really nice.
Which is good.
And so I'm thinking like, okay, we can see like what works and what doesn't work, right? But like, what about the tools to like navigate certain things? So we can say, oh yeah, I saw my parents do this and I don't want to do that. But like, like who's teaching you how to do things, you know, effectively?
I think that you're probably gonna have
You
to
just
learn
learn
through
trial
and
and
that's,
error.
but that's so hard.
Because
like
a lot of
it
people
is.
don't want to go through that. They're like, well, I don't want to try.
It's
But I feel
that's
like-
everything with life, though.
But I feel like in relationships, like I feel like there's certain tools that we need in order to navigate certain things. Let's say we don't communicate well, right? And we're like, damn, we really want to work
Then
on
I
this.
feel like that's when you bring in some outside support. So then I feel like couples counseling
Yep.
is definitely
Yeah.
very beneficial. Even if
Absolutely.
you feel like your relationship is bomb, it might be, but I feel
could be a
like you
preventative
can-
measure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just need that third party, like
That's
if I'm not,
unbiased.
like
Yeah.
if I'm not seeing what you're talking about, you're not seeing where I'm coming from. Like this person can like describe, like, okay, this is what, like, what are you hearing from her? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, let me break it down because you're not able to hear it from her.
Yeah.
So we have to wrap it up soon. So
Oh,
I guess
damn,
the long and
really?
short of it, yeah. So I guess the long and short of it is dating life in 2019 is hard as fuck. That's
Yeah, that's what I've been
Hey,
hearing.
I'm
I mean, thank God I don't
I'm
have
not
to
gonna
date
hold
right
you.
She
now.
out the
But
game and shit. For the rest of us,
I know I be hearing this.
I'm
rough.
not gonna hold you, and it's
I
hard,
heard
and
that too.
especially with all these diseases that are going on, it's really hard. That's especially hard because
Yeah.
it's like you don't know
You gotta
who
be
do
careful.
what and what do who and what you got and what you don't have. That's why thanks be to God. I be telling my nigga all the time, like, yo, I'm so thankful for you. I'm telling you, I'm thankful for you because I couldn't make it.
No.
Yeah.
so basically, safe date. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
basically,
Live life, have fun.
And don't give it up to just anybody. That's for women and men because that shit ain't hot. That's not cute.
or if you want to, be safe about it.
Yeah, be a safe hoe.
Be a safe hoe,
Right.
like y'all say.
Safe hope.
I ain't come for me. Come on.
All right.
right.
Y'all heard it from us first. Be a safe hoe.
See you next